Hello there, boys and girls, it's Miss Potter here. This is day 1 of set 6, story 3. This part of the session is the storybook session, which should come after your speed sound sessions, which are the videos that you've been accessing online via Dojo from the Read Write Inc. website. This is the book that we're going to be looking at over the next few sessions. The title of the book is Hairy Fairy. Have a look at the picture on the front of the book. Can you have a think what you think this book might be about? Good, well done. Yeah, I think this book might be about, it looks like a grown man who's actually dressed as a fairy. I wonder why he's dressed as a fairy. We might get to find out when we read the book in tomorrow's session. The next thing I'd like us to do is to turn to page 4. This is where you will find your speed sounds. If you have a partner to help you practice the speed sounds at home, that's great. If you don't, you can use me as your partner, that's fine too. If you're at home, you'll need a pointing stick. In school we use a lollipop stick, but I've not got a lollipop stick at home, so I'm going to use just a pen to point. If you've got a partner at home, you can start pointing to the sounds and saying the sounds and getting your partner to repeat them. If you're using me as your partner, that's fine. If you're using your partner at home, you might want to pause the video now while you do this. If you're using me as your partner, I will point to the sound and say them. I'd like you to repeat after me. Are we ready? Ooh. S. V. Z. Sh. Th. Unk. B. K. D. G. H. J. P. Qu. T. W. X. Y. Ch. Well done. I want us to pay close attention to these sounds here in the circle. There's 2 letters together that make one sound. The K and the N together make a N sound. Can you say that? N. N. There's these 2 letters here that make the R sound. The W and the R go together to make the R sound. Can you say that? R. R. Well done. And these 2 letters here that go together to make the W sound. Can you say that? W. W. Good, well done. Now it's your turn to say the sounds first. I'll point to the sound, you say the sound I'm pointing to, and I'll repeat what I think you said. Are we ready? F. Ooh. S. V. Z. Sh. Th. Unk. B. K. D. G. H. J. P. Qu. T. W. X. Y. Ch. Well done. Now we're going to move on to the vowel sounds, which you will find on page 5 of your book. Remember, you only need to say the vowel sound. You don't need to read the word at the bottom. You can use it if you get stuck. I'll say the sound. I want you to repeat after me if you're using me as your partner. If you have a partner at home, you can pause the video now. A. E. I. O. U. A. E. I. O. U. A. O. air, ow, oi. Well done. This time I'm going to point to the sound. I want you to say the sound and I'll repeat what I think you said. Are we ready? It's your turn first this time. A, I, O, A, E, I, O, U, A, O, ow, oi. Well done. Now that we've practiced our speed sounds, we're going to move on and have a look at some of the words we might find in our storybook. These words are our story green words. We're going to start off by Fred talking and saying the word. If you have a partner at home, you can practice this and pause the video now. If you're using me as your partner, I'm going to do the first one. You can repeat after me. Ooh, that's quite tricky. I know that word says Mrs. Mrs. Blair. Blair. Mrs. Blair. Your turn to read it. Good, well done. Can you Fred talk this one? Well done. Whisk. Whisk. And this one? Sack. Sack. And this one? Nip. Nips. This one? Good try. All. Ball. And this one? Great effort, well done. Wand. That doesn't sound right, does it? This here makes an O sound in this word. Wand. Great. Now let's read the multisyllabic words. I want you to read the first syllable, then the second syllable, then the whole word together. I will model it first. Frilly. Frilly. If you get stuck, remember you can always Fred in your head. Frilly. Frilly. Your turn. Well done. On air. Millionaire. This one? Tinsel. Tinsel. Hairdresser. Hairdresser. Despair. Despair. Honest. Honest. Money. Money. Magic. Magic. That J sound might have caught you out. Take care. And this one? Father. Father. Christmas. Christmas. Good job. Some of those words were quite tricky. Now we're going to look at some root words and see what they change into when we add a suffix to the end. I'll start off and model. Wrap. Wrap. Wrap becomes wrapping. Well done. Your turn now. Wrap. Well done. Becomes. Now let's try this one. Your turn. Swap becomes. Well done. I want to have a look at the meaning of some of those words we've just been learning to read. Frilly is the first word I want to talk about. Frilly is ruffled and lacy. You might hear somebody say, a pink frilly dress. Fairy dust. Fairy dust is a magic power, a sack of fairy dust. Nips. Nips is something we say if we want to say something moves quickly. The tooth fairy nips into his bedroom. Got the sack. Tinsel. Got the sack means you've lost your job. So I got the sack. Tinsel is sparkly streamers. You might have tinsel in your house at Christmas. They put tinsel on the Christmas tree's branches. In an odd way. That means strangely. He looked at me in an odd way. Despair. It means you have no ideas and no hope. The fairy queen looked at me in despair. Well done. Now for the last part of today's session, we're going to have a look at the red words. If you have a partner at home, you can take it in turns to point at the word and say the word, and your partner can repeat after you. You can pause the video now if you want to do that. If you're going to use me as your partner, I will point to the word and say the word. I'd like you to repeat the word after me. Are we ready? Could, there, all, they, any, I'm, I've, to, what, do, ball, watch, said, call, could, were, one, two, other, there. Great job, well done. Now this time it's your turn to say the word and I will repeat what I think you said. Could, there, all, they, any, I'm, I've, to, what, do, ball, watch, said, call, could, were, one, two, other, there. Well done, great job. You can practice these words at the beginning of your book at any time throughout the day. This brings us to the end of our first session on our blue book, Set 6, Story 3, Hairy Fairy. I'll see you again soon, boys and girls.